Hello everybody, my name is Aiden and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, we got some breaking news as the Chicago Bulls make a signing, ladies and gentlemen. And today, we're going to be talking about the new acquisition in Jalen Smith. The Bulls were probably looking for a center. We obviously let go of Andre Drummond. There's reports of Nikola Vucevic potentially leaving this Bulls team. So with that being said, a new acquisition. Is it the right move for the Chicago Bulls? Let's discuss it in this video. But before we get any further, if you like the video and you want to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, and or subscribe if you are new. And let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls and the signing and the acquisition of Jalen Smith as an unrestricted free agent. He signed on to the Chicago Bulls for 3 years, worth $27 million. So basically that goes down to $9 million per season, and that is a pretty good deal in all honesty, considering his stats, his position, obviously the age factor as well. There is a lot to like about this player. Well, with that being said, he is a player that played 61 games. Last season he averaged 9.9 points per game, 5.5 rebounds, 1 assist. He shot over 42% from the three-point line last season. Now, something about that stat line, I want to put an asterisk to that, just because in previous seasons, he was nowhere near that mark. This was his first ever season shooting over 40% from the three-point line. So we need to see more. Is what I'm trying to say. Especially in a Bulls uniform, we've seen guys that shoot great from the three-point line drop off massively. We just need to find that consistency, and I think Jalen Smith could potentially bring something into that. Not to mention, he is a young player, and he probably fits the timeline of the Bulls going a little bit younger at 24 years of age. Now, if you guys don't know Jalen Smith, I think you're going to very much like the player that he's going to be for the Chicago Bulls. One thing that we always know and one thing that we always love about players is when they're hard-nosed, physical, and provide a threat. I think Jalen Smith will tick all those boxes. Of course, being a player that, if done well, can provide a good offensive threat. He's a decent post player, especially if he's going against undersized guys. Considering he's undersized himself, you know, that's going to be a bit of an interesting factor. He can obviously shoot the mid-range and shoot the three-point shot as well, which will be nice for the Chicago Bulls. Look, we've seen what Vucevic can do on the offensive end, and when Vucevic actually hits the three, we are a dangerous team. The fact of the matter is he just shot it really poorly the last couple of seasons, and we need someone that's going to hit it consistently. So maybe Jalen Smith won't get the same amount of shots as a Nikola Vucevic has. Or maybe Jalen Smith won't be the vocal point on the offensive end as a Jalen Smith won't be a vocal point on the offensive end as a Nikola Vucevic might be. But at least he'll be able to spread the floor and provide a decent threat from the three-point line if all things are going well. Now, what do I think about the deal? I think $9 million is an interesting price, in all honesty. I believe we used the mid-level exception in order to bring in Jalen Smith. I think this is a deal that we'll have to wait and see about. I don't necessarily feel the same way about this deal compared to how I felt about Caruso at the time. If you guys remember, Caruso signed on, and a lot of people called him overpriced, and he proved everybody wrong, and he was definitely worth every penny that we paid him. Jalen Smith is a guy, I don't think he's overpriced, but I do feel like people will look at that price and say, well, look, there could be a conversation there. I like the price. I like the player. I've always liked the player. I think he's a guy we should have got a couple years ago, and now he's come into this Bulls team now, and this should be a good opportunity for him. I guess another question we need to ask is whether or not he will be a starter for the Chicago Bulls. The way that it looks now, the fact that we still have Nikola Vucevic in the team, I guess the question is no. He probably won't be a starter. Unless he moves to the power forward position, you make the conversation. But I do think Patrick Williams will probably be our starting power forward unless he moves to the small forward position. A lot of conversations, right? There's a lot of fun conversations to have in that regard. But even if he isn't a starter, he's a versatile player that can come off the bench and or start and just bring a game that we as Chicago Bulls fans can respect. He can play the forward position. He could do it no problem. It definitely helps in the versatility factor. It helps in the size factor. It helps in the way that we want to play, and it helps the timeline. So I'm very happy with this deal, but that's all I really got to talk about today. Again, I really need to go to sleep. It's very late at night, and I do have to be somewhere tomorrow. So if you guys have any other suggestions or any other comments, feel free to let me know, and I'll try to get back to you as much and as quickly as possible. Thank you for watching. Drop a like and a follow, and or subscribe if you are new, and I will see you in the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care, and peace.